So once again, we open into that awareness of awareness. So this awareness of awareness has the qualities of spaciousness, of energy, of light, of compassion, of bliss. So as we enter into this space of the awareness, we'll focus on that space in between the thoughts. And in the beginning, that's a tiny space, because we're addicted to thinking most of the time. And so we enter into that space. And as we enter in, it begins to grow. We begin to extend it through our body. So from the base of the spine, we begin to feel more space. Up the spine, through the back of the neck, the back of the head, all the way up to the top of the head. And then down through the front of the body. That space begins to grow. Down through the heart, through the lower body. We begin to relax and enter that sense of spaciousness. And then we extend into the field around us, into the space around us. So above the body, below the body, to the left, to the right, to the people to the right, to the left of you, across the room, we extend in this space. And we extend to the people on the internet this morning as they extend here. And then feeling the energy in this space, we pull it into the top of the head, down through the forehead, through the face, through the throat, down into the heart, down into the belly, into the lower body. And we amplify it once again. From the back of the head, we extend the energy forward into the forehead. From the back of the head into the eyes. From the back of the head into the mouth. From the back of the head into the throat. From the back of the head into the heart. From the back of the head into the belly. And the back of the head into the lower body. And then opening right now in the heart. As we open into the light, to the light of the field. So once again, we relax into the light. And once again, we extend to each other. Again, feeling that resonance. We extend also to the generational field this morning, that field of the ancestors, the family, the friends, and the great yogis we've known in our life. We extend also to all our traditions of which we've participated in. And to the great archetypes of all the traditions. So as we sit in this place this morning, I'll be giving a little talk, holding the light. You know, there was an interesting article this past week in the paper, about research done at NIMH by Thomas Wurr in the 90s. And the subjects studied, research was on sleep. And the subjects studied beginning at dusk and ending at dawn were removed from any artificial light. So they were studied for some time, but during the first 3 weeks, they slept as usual, only about an hour longer. So like the typical 8-hour night that many people have, but just a little bit longer. But by week 4, a dramatic change had begun to take place. They began each night with 4 hours of deep sleep, and then woke up for 2 hours of quiet rest, and then slept another 4 hours of deep sleep. And during the gap between their first and second sleep, the subjects were neither awake or fully asleep. Rather, they experienced a state of consciousness all its own. And none of the subjects were familiar with this state of consciousness. Later, Wurr would compare the state of consciousness to the state experienced by meditators. However, there weren't any meditators in the study, simply ordinary people who were removed from artificial lighting for 1 month and found their sleep broken into 2 parts. All subjects also reported a sense of security and serenity. Wurr also discovered that the hormone prolactin was elevated in their bodies shortly after dusk and remained at twice the normal waking level throughout the night. Prolactin is the hormone that is present in nursing mothers when their milk begins to come in. Prolactin creates an experience of security, quietness, and peace. So many of us have had the experience of waking up in the middle of the night, and we call it insomnia. Perhaps it's not insomnia. Maybe it's completely natural. Historians reported that before the Industrial Revolution, divided sleep was not the exception, but the rule. Today we live compressed lives of time, We're constantly fitting everything into a schedule, including sleep. So what if we wake up at night? We can recognize this wakefulness, maybe as completely natural, and enjoy it. And if we'd like to go back to sleep, if we're bothered by this, one suggestion is to focus in the area of the third eye and imagine an actual eye there. So that would be between the eyes in the forehead. And then imagining that eye to close, closing off all access to all thoughts, and entering a thought-free state. And you might find yourself seeing a saffron light in that area and feeling the subtle vibration of that chakra. And after a little while of meditating on the third eye, you may find yourself back to sleep. Another practice involving sleep is to hold awareness right before you go to sleep at night. This Tibetan practice is sometimes described as dream yoga, or the practice of the night. And the way we practice dream yoga is to enter the state of awareness just before we go to sleep every night. So in the same way that we're holding awareness now, we could do this just before we go to sleep. A particular technique that is used is to focus in the heart center and use the mantra Ah. So you can see a chain of Ahs moving up to the crown center from the heart as we drop off to sleep. The yogis tell us there are many advantages to holding awareness right before we go to sleep. The first advantage is that the dreamer can actually become aware that he or she is dreaming while in the dream state. The second advantage is that because we're aware we're dreaming, we can actually transform dream images into whatever we choose. We can now see the dream as images or constructions of the mind, which can be altered or deleted. The third advantage is, as we hold awareness in the dream state, we may begin to have more dreams of clarity, which will guide us in our everyday life. Archetypal images may also occur to us in the dream state. And as we become more practiced in holding awareness in sleep, then the light of the sun, or clarity, is more available to us. The fourth advantage is if we can stabilize our awareness in the deep sleep and dream state, it's much easier to hold awareness in the waking state. So initially, when we fall asleep, there is a transitional state that we enter. We become relaxed. Our thoughts diminish. Our senses are withdrawn. We drop into a state of unconsciousness. In this state of deep sleep, there is no awareness because the vehicle for knowing the awareness is asleep. The mind is asleep. However, the subject still exists. Our subjectivity is at rest within it as its own self. And when we wake up, we may have a sense of ananda, or a sense of well-being. This ananda is sometimes called the bliss of the subject. And eventually, as the meditator learns to hold the state of awareness more continuously, dreams may happen, but the meditator may stay absorbed in the subject, not getting mentally involved in the dream. In a sense, seeing through the dream form. For the adept, the dream state may eventually disappear. So as we practice holding awareness over and over again before we go to sleep, the awareness can become more blissful, and deep sleep becomes a state of contemplation. So as the night progresses, the state of deep sleep becomes lighter and lighter, and we now enter the dream state. It's in the dream state that we become aware of the fact that we're dreaming. So mastery of the dream field happens in two ways. As we become aware we're dreaming, we can change the dream to whatever we like. So instead of being terrified by a nightmare, we could transform the dream into something different. In this way, we understand the dream to be simply a fabrication or construction of the mind. And we can remain anchored in a deeper reality in the subject. And although we're aware of the dream, we can stay focused in the state of contemplation, where we experience the bliss of the subject. So you could become aware of the dream, but still focused on the subject. I am. And out of that contemplation, the bliss arises. And then eventually that meditator may learn to hold awareness and not be involved in the dream again at all. So Dzogchen describes a correspondence between the state of deep sleep and our experience of death. When a person dies, all senses vanish. And after that comes a period of unconsciousness. And then the arising of the lights begins. With the arising of the light, slowly, slowly, consciousness begins to reawaken. And what is awakened at the time of death is not the mind and its contents, but the nature of mind. That which we call our most inner essence. Dzogchen calls this state the state of natural light or natural awareness. And the Buddhist teachings make it clear that to prepare ourselves for this moment, we must practice holding awareness of the natural state, so that when we experience the arising of light at the moment of death, we recognize it and run like a child into the mother's lap. So by remaining in that state of recognition of the light, we will become liberated. So once again, we'll practice. And we'll extend once again to all the great yogis. And particularly we'll extend to Lama Norla this morning, as he'll be coming here in a few weeks. And feeling that resonance with him. Once again, we understand that this natural state is at the base of all the different traditions. So however we've known it before or enter it now, it's completely natural. And the traditions help us to hold it. And we extend to the great archetypes of all these different traditions. So once again, we'll do the practice of holding this awareness of awareness for ourselves and for all sentient beings. So compassion is that aspect of awareness where we hold awareness for one's own self, but the other as well. So we'll focus on family and friends that might be having some difficulty. Right now, we'll hold the light and extend the light to them. We'll extend the light also to all the places that are having difficulty right now in the world. When I think about Texas, Syria, all these different places. So I also have one more chant today. This is the chant of the Dalai Lama sing to the Divine Mother.
Om Tare Tudare Turi Saha. 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 Om Tare Tudare. Om Tare Tudare Turi Saha. 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 Om Tare Tudare Turi Saha
Start to close up right now. If you like, you can rub your hands together till they're hot. Sealing at the heart, the top of the head, the belly. And I think we have a few announcements this morning.
Thanks. And we have really a great announcement, and that is on June 27th and 28th, so Saturday and Sunday, Lama Nola Rinpoche will be giving empowerments and teachings that weekend here. And the empowerment and ritual will be the Vajravidarana. And this is really a fantastic empowerment, rarely given. It's an esoteric and most powerful invocation of this archetypical energy called the Vajravidarana. It's very rarely given here in the States. And this particular empowerment is a protective empowerment. It's an empowerment of healing and the purification and dissolving of negative and destructive energies of body, speech, and mind. Also, wonderfully, this empowerment also cuts through and clears the destructive energy in places. It's actually focused a lot on places, whether it's our place of our body, mind, and speech, or places of our home and cities. And this is an empowerment of protection, and experientially brings forth the sense of the immutable and indestructible nature of primordial awareness, the source of everything. So we're really fortunate to participate in this experience, this liberating experience and protective event. And it also focuses also on the channels in the body, and helps cut through the blocks and the so-called knots that lock up the energy that doesn't really carry the light. And then also, that'll be on Saturday. Then on Sunday he'll be teaching from a text called The Vital Drops and Pith Instructions of the Mahamudra. And this text of pointing out instructions, so it's very experiential, was composed by his teacher, who was a master of the Mahamudra, Kala Rinpoche. And this text is also called The Excellent Path Traversed by the Fortunate, and is known for being so direct and clear in pointing out the nature of innate awareness. And also it presents the kayas as a very natural experience of our own knowing in the immediacy of the moment. So it kind of deconstructs some of the esoteric dimensions of it. So it's a really great text, and the empowerment, as you know, he gives great transmissions, very direct, very complete. So if you want to sign up, please sign up early, because seating will again be limited. First sign up, you enter, you get here in the basement. Also, if you would like to pay ahead of time, that'd be great, or just sign that you're going to pay. Because what we'd like to do, there's some kind of program where someone is matching money for the completing of that building, that the Maitreya building that Lama Nola is trying to do, and it's June 2nd that this is the end date. So if you can let us know that you're going to come, and you can give the money when you can, then we can send in a note that this amount of money has been collected, and then that matching donor will match that. You follow what I mean by that? Sort of like business stuff. Anyway, but it's important. And tomorrow we'll be here, so we again having the Dakini practices, and we'll start off at 7 o'clock with a great Lama speaking, Lama Torchen, who is a great master of Dzogchen, a bearer of the Durjam lineage. And this is a series on death and dying and the role of awareness in that drama. So, and then often we have a chant after that. It's all videos on the stream. It's not here in the house. It's on the internet, and you can just come to the center, Washington Center for Conscious Studies Center, and just press a little button. You don't have to pay anything, and it'll come on for you. But the teachings are great, and you're guaranteed to feel the field.
So thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next week.